Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Ashley Brown, and I'll be presenting today's webinar. And Dina Palmer will be our moderator. We are your member relations specialist here at Oki 811. Today, we'll be covering some of the members' most common issues when using the portal and discussing the resources that can help. But first, let's go over a few housekeeping items. Just a reminder that all attendees are in listen-only mode. If you have any question throughout today's webinar, please leave them in the Q&A feature, and we'll have a question and answer session at the end, but we're going to be discussing general high-level questions. Just a reminder that every user experience is so unique and is dependent upon a lot of different variables. So we're going to be taking any general high-level questions, and if it have a question that's a little bit more in depth, that may just require a one-on-one meetup with us. But we are going to be covering some common issues that members experience and the web and the resources that are available to help assist with those issues. All attendees for today's webinar are going to receive a handout with a link to all of the resources that we mentioned and additional resources that can help whenever you're experiencing those portal issues. We are going to cover a lot today in today's webinar. We'll start with the Oki 811 portal, the differences between the two portals. Then we'll talk a bit about positive response and different scenarios that members may encounter. We'll also discuss how to update your Oki 811 information. Then we'll talk about pulling a report in the old Oki 811 portal. We'll discuss the new mobile optimized portal, the service area editor, and a brand new feature called the SAE snapshot. And we'll close with some safe sender information to make sure that you continue to receive your locate request. So first, as many of you may know, we are currently operating in two portals. We have the old portal, which is pictured on the left, and the new portal, which is on the right. So in the old portal, you have your queue, reports feature, membership info, and positive response. The new portal has positive response, but it does not have the queue reports and membership info. Those are exclusive to the old portal. But in the new portal, which is also known as the new mobile portal or the mobile friendly portal, it does come with some additional features such as the service area editor is available on the desktop version of the new portal. We also have the SAE snapshot, and then there are some different excavator features that are on the new portal as well. Since this is about high-level issues, we're not going to go through each feature, but if you wish to learn more about each feature, you can take a look at some of the resources that we'll have in the handouts, and it's going to go in depth about the differences between the old and the new portal. One of the main questions that we get from members is how to actually get to the portal. So we're going to talk about how to access the old and the new portals on the desktop and a mobile device. If you're trying to access the old portal on a desktop, you're going to go to the oki811.org website and then select Facility Operator Portal. You'll know that you're at the old Oki 811 portal because the homepage has grass and an 811 flag in the background as shown here. Remember that the queue, membership info, and reports features are only available in the old portal, but you can positively respond in the old and the new portal. If you're trying to access the old Oki 811 portal from a mobile device, the process is slightly different. Now, keep in mind that the only features that the old portal has that are not available in the new portal are membership info, which you'll use to verify your information, the reports feature, and then the queue feature. And membership information, as I mentioned, is available in the old portal as well. You're likely to have a better experience using those features on the old portal on a desktop computer. However, if you need to access the old portal on a mobile device, you can do so by opening up an internet browser on your device and going to oki811.org. Then you're going to tap the menu icon, which is the three horizontal lines, and a menu will populate, and you're going to select Facility Operator Portal. Now, when you do so, that's going to take you to the sign in for the new portal. And you're going to sign in, select Facility Operator Hub, and then choose Old Oki 811 portal, and that's going to bring you to the old Oki 811 portal on your device. That's a real long roundabout way, but however, keep in mind that the desktop version does offer the best experience for the old portal, but should you need to access it on your mobile device, you can. If you're wanting to access the new portal on a desktop computer, simply go to gis.oki811.org. And from here, you can sign in and begin using the new portal or the service area editor. To access the new portal from a mobile device, you're going to open an internet browser on your device and go to oki811.org. Then you'll choose Facility Operator Portal from the menu that populates. And remember, you can get to the menu by selecting the three lines. This is going to bring you to the sign in page of the new portal, and from there you are able to sign in and use the new portal as you need to. Now that we know where to find the portal, let's go over some common logging in issues. First, let's discuss a failed login. So let's say you're attempting to log into the old or the new portal and you get a failed login message. Just like any other website, if you experience a failed login to the portal, the very first thing you should do is check to ensure that you are entering the correct login credentials. Now, the Oki 811 portal has two types of portal usernames and they have different access levels. So, excavators can log into the portal and they can only log into the new portal to have access to those excavator features, but their username is an email address format. So, with this, they're only going to have access to excavator features like find ticket and submit ticket. Facility operators or members that have registered to have access to the member features such as positive response, service area editor, queue reports, or membership info, they also have a portal username, but it comes in the format of OP dash. It's usually OP dash your first name dot your last name or OP dash your company name. Now, just a reminder, you must have been registered in order to have access to the member features of the portal. Sometimes we get members who are experiencing a failed login because they've never actually registered for the portal, or they're still trying to log in with that email format username when their username has been upgraded to the OP dash format. The second piece of information you'll want to verify is the password that you're entering. So just a few notes about passwords. Oki 811 does not keep track of your passwords. You can reset your password if needed via the reset password links on the old and the new portal. Now, you'll want to be mindful if you have a saved login credential to your internet's browser, because if you reset your password in the future, you may need to resave that new password to your browser. And a final note about portal login issues is that if this is your first time logging into the portal, you'll want to be sure that you click the link in the portal activation email you received after you registered. When you submit your portal registration form, the form is sent to member services for processing. At the same time, the portal is going to send you an email to validate the email address that you entered. This happens with most websites. You need to click the link in the email to verify your account. If you don't click the link in the email to validate your account, you're going to continue to receive the login failed error, even if you're entering the correct credentials. So, switching gears a little bit, let's talk about positive response. So this is not a how-to video, and so we're not going to cover in-depth step-by-step about how to positively respond. However, we do have some fantastic positive response resources already available to you. So if you go to the Learning Hub of oki811.org and then scroll to the bottom, we do have PDF tutorials that give step-by-step instructions on how to submit positive response in the old and the new portal. We also have two recorded webinars in the Oki 811 YouTube member playlist that give some great in-depth information about positive response comments and answers questions about different scenarios that you may experience while submitting your positive response. By selecting the Watch Recorded Webinars um, button on the Learning Hub, you're able to go to the recorded webinar playlist. Now, another question that we often get about positive response from members is them saying that they don't actually see an option to positively respond. So, with that, the very first step that we go over is making sure that you're actually logged into either the old or the no or the new portal. Sometimes members try to positively respond directly from the Okie811.org website, and you're not able to do that. In order to submit your positive response, you need to be logged into either the old or the new portal with your member username, which begins with that OP dash. But, if you're logged into the portal and you're sure that you have your correct credentials and you're still able or unable to see that respond option, please contact Okie 811 Member Services and we would be more than happy to get you squared away. Another great question is, can I respond to more than one ticket at a time? And the answer is absolutely yes. So in the old portal, you can respond to as many tickets as you would like at a time by simply checking the box that's to the left of the ticket number and then choosing add response. As long as the tickets have the same response, you can respond to multiple tickets at a time, no matter what the ticket type is or the facility type that you're responding to. This is where you have the greater flexibility in this is going to be in the old portal because in the new portal, you can take the same steps to add a response to multiple tickets and facility types, but they must be the same ticket type. If you try to respond to multiple tickets in the new portal and those tickets have different ticket types, you're going to receive an error code. And if you're responding to a ticket on your phone, you'll notice that in the mobile version, you can only respond to tickets one at a time. We often get asked about what information should be included in the positive response comment, and the short answer to that is just any information that you find would be helpful to the excavator or that would be valuable for you to use for documentation. So it can range from maybe you just want to include the date and time that the area was located or the contact information for your locating personnel. You can also use the comments to document unusual situations that you experience at the job site or things that you see. The excavator will be able to see your response when they search for the ticket online. But more important than that is that you are able to document what you need to for that ticket. In case you need to look it up later, you'll have all the information there in one place. You can include any additional information that would be supporting your positive response or even information about the size and material of your underground facility. Just make sure that your comment is limited to 999 characters. If you go to 1,000 characters, you will receive an error message. When you're submitting your positive response, you want to make sure that the response itself reflects what the locator did for that ticket. And then when you're submitting your comment, be sure that the information in the comment is accurate, detailed, and that it agrees with the positive response that you chose. We definitely do not want vague blanket statements here as they do not count as a positive response. So, as we've mentioned a few times, we do have our new mobile friendly portal. And that means that no matter what device you're using, whether it's a smartphone, tablet, or anything in between, the portal is fully optimized for seamless access and enhanced usability. So, this means greater convenience whenever you are using your portal, wherever you're using the portal. So, throughout the webinar today, we've been looking at the portal basically on a desktop version. Now we're going to see what it looks like to navigate the new portal on a mobile device. So remember that on mobile devices, you access the new portal by going to okie811.org, selecting the menu icon, and then choosing Facility Operator Portal. And it's going to bring you to the sign in screen as shown on the left. From there, you're going to log in with your OP username and password. And to navigate the portal more easily, you'll simply click the three lines in the top left-hand corner, and that's going to open up a menu that displays all the available options, and it makes it a little bit simpler to find what you need and to go to the page that you're trying to go to. To access the member features from the new portal homepage, you'll select Facility Operator Hub. Once you select Facility Operator Hub, you're going to have the option to access the old Oki 811 portal if need be. Maybe if you're trying to access the queue, reports, or membership info, but remember that those features are best experienced on a desktop version of the portal. You can also submit a positive response. For a positive response, you can either search for a specific ticket or just select one from the list. Currently, you are only able to respond to tickets one at a time when you are on the mobile version of the portal. Once you select a ticket, it's going to be highlighted in gray, and from there you can click the plus sign to open up the option to add a response, or if you'd like to view the ticket details, you can click the arrow on the right side of the ticket. And when you're ready to respond, you'll just choose your response and add your comments. We do frequently receive questions about the new portal on mobile devices. And so for a more in-depth tutorial about how to navigate all around that, you can view our portal and positive response recorded webinar, and it too will be included on today's handout. We also receive many questions about if you can pull a report in the Oki 811 portal, how can I pull a report? What does the portal feature look like? And so we do want to just offer a few reminders here. First up being that the reports feature has a very large amount of data that it must burrow through. So it best to enter minimal information in the search fields, and then when your results list generates, you can filter down the information that you'd like to view. If you enter too much information, you might experience an error code. You also want to pay attention to the date parameters that you're searching for. Most reports can only search 31 days at a time, going back 3 years. And we also want to remind you that you do have the option to save your reports by using the export option available at the top of the results column headers. Speaking of columns, if you select the down arrow that's on the right side of each column header, a menu is going to appear. From that menu, if you select columns, a sub-menu will appear that allows you to choose which columns of information you'd like to view in the results list. This helps you focus on the exact information that you're looking for. The reports feature can time out or give errors due to the vast amount of data that it must pull from. So if you experience an error while you're using the reports feature, we recommend the following. First up, it may be necessary to search the report up to 3 times with the exact same information in the search field when you conduct each search. After that, you may need to reduce the amount of information that you're including in the search fields. And lastly, you might need to reduce the date range that you're searching for. For more information about how portal reports can help you and different methods of pulling reports, you can view our member portal reports webinar and the portal reports cost saving webinar, which will both be linked in the resource handout. Many questions come from members about how to view and update the billing and dispatch information that they have on file. And you are able to update and see what information you have listed with Oki 811, and you do that by going to the old portal. Once you log into the old Oki 811 portal, you will select membership info. From there, you're going to select the code that you'd like to view from the drop-down box that's on the left side of the screen. The information sheet in the middle of the screen is going to let you know if you're viewing the member or dispatch information. On this page, we're viewing an example of member information. When you're reviewing your member information, it's very important that you verify the mailing address and email address that is listed. Members are set up to be billed in November of every year. If you're unable to receive your invoice due to outdated information, that means that you could risk your account being turned over to enforcement authorities such as the OCC and other insurance groups, or being turned over to collections, and you definitely don't want that. So you want to make sure that your billing information is always up to date. Should you need to update it, just select the Update Information button, and it will take you to the billing update form. Almost nearly the same steps when you're reviewing dispatch information. When you're looking at dispatch information, you want to make sure that you're verifying the authorized contacts that are listed for your organization. These are people that we're able to discuss the account with, and we want to make sure that we're only discussing the account and accepting changes from people who have the authority to do so. You also want to be reviewing your output section. Your outputs are where your locate requests are transmitted. Please keep in mind that we don't know that changes happen within your organization unless you tell us. So make sure that the output destination that you have on file with us is always up to date. You'll also want to review the people that are listed under the positive response configuration. These are users who are registered to positively respond on behalf of your company. So you want to make sure that that information is up to date as well. And just like the other information, if you need to update your dispatch information, you just select the update information button and it's going to take you to the dispatch update form. Now, a quick note about the update forms. They are free text fields. This means that you can completely type out the information you need us to know in the fields. The changes are not live. The form is going to come over to member services. We will process it and you'll receive a confirmation email upon completion. Now, the membership info feature is really cool because you can see the information that you have registered with Oki 811, and it also has links that will take you to the service area editor, also known as the SAE, which is the mapping system that members use to register their underground lines. So if you want to go to the SAE from the old portal, you will just select membership info. And then you'll choose the service area editor link that's in step number 2 on the left side of the screen, or the service area editor link that's in step number 3 in the middle of the screen. Both of these links will take you to the new portal so you can begin using the SAE. And then once you get to that SAE main screen or home screen, you're going to sign into the new portal with your OP- username and your password. Once you're signed in, you'll select Facility Operator Hub, and then you're going to choose Service Area Editor. Clicking that takes you to the Service Area Editor homepage where you can launch the SAE and view and update your registered mapping. Or you can view our service area map management manual, and it's a step-by-step guide, PDF guide that shows you how to use every tool of the SAE. Or you can even watch a video that we have that shows you how to use the service area editor. These links will also be included on your resource handout. For those that may not know, the Service Area Editor is a fantastic tool that's available in the desktop version of the new portal, and you use it to view, create, and edit your underground facilities, also known as service areas. Another great feature that is in the new portal is the service area snapshot. Now, this is great because we often get questions from members about why they received a ticket. Well, you receive your locate request based on where your underground lines are registered. The service area snapshot is the feature that shows you to see where the proposed dig site polygon that the excavator drew intersects with your registered service areas. To access it in the new portal, you're going to navigate to Ticket Search. And then on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see Ticket Search there. When you select it, you'll see that there are various ticket search options. For this example, we're just going to enter the ticket number that you want to see why you received that ticket, and then be sure that you select the green search button to proceed. Once the ticket loads, you would scroll to the bottom, the very, very bottom of the ticket to view the map. Here you're going to see the excavator polygon. This is the proposed dig site. And then you're going to select your dispatch code in the top left of that snapshot window. Once you select your dispatch code, you're going to be able to see that proposed dig site polygon the buffer that surrounds it, and then your registered underground line. So in this example, we can see that the buffer around the proposed dig site intersects with the example member's registered underground lines, which resulted in the member receiving a ticket. This tool is extremely useful for locators when you're providing positive response, or if you ever just wondered why you received a locate request. Now let's go over a few ticket transmission tips. There may be a situation or a time when you notice that your company is not receiving tickets for some reason. And it is absolutely vital that your organization receive your locate request. That's why you became a member of Oki 811, so you could be notified when there's excavation taking place near your underground lines. So the first thing you want to do is verify the information that you have on file for your output is correct. You do that via the membership info viewer of the old portal. As we mentioned, we don't know if a change occurs unless you tell us. So let's say you have an email address where tickets were being sent, but then you all received a new email domain. Well, you have to make sure that you let us know that so we can begin sending tickets to the new email address. And you can do so via the dispatch update form if any change is needed. Once you verify that your output information is correct, you want to take a look at the service area editor to make sure that you've registered all of the areas that your company owns or operates and that you want to be notified of. So let's say your company acquires new underground lines, but you don't register them with Oki 811. Well, then you won't be notified when work is taking place near those lines, and it's going to put the facility and the public at risk. So you also want to be sure that you have your safe sender information and that Oki 811 is marked as a safe sender in your system. So you want to make sure that you have your IT department or your email provider um, add Oki 811's IP addresses, email domain, and the addresses where the tickets are coming from. We'll include that safe sender information in today's handout, and it's also listed on the membership guide of oki811.org. Be sure that your tickets are not going to the spam or junk folders. If they are, you'll want to take the steps to mark them as not junk so that your tickets begin going to the main inbox of your email folder. As always, if you have any questions or you notice that you're not receiving your tickets, you can always reach out to Oki 811 Member Services, and we are more than happy to help. Sometimes seeking assistance or trying to troubleshoot can be very overwhelming, and we want to remind you that we are here for you and you have other available resources that you may not have even considered. So within your organization, you can reach out to your IT department, your internet provider, and your email host provider. You can also use the internet as a way to maybe resolve safe sender issues. For example, you could search, how do I add email address to the safe sender list in Yahoo? The Learning Hub on oki811.org is also a great, robust resource. It has the positive response tutorials that we saw, a video showing you how to use the member portal features, and a link to the member playlist of the Oki 811 YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel, we have webinars that cover every aspect of membership. We also have a chatbot that's available on the oki811.org website. You can ask it any question about membership. Once it gives you an answer, make sure that you give us a feedback by giving a thumbs up or thumbs down. That way we can make sure that the chatbot is always giving you the most relevant, accurate information. And as always, as I've mentioned a few times, please be sure that you reach out to Oki 811 Member Services if you have any questions. We want to make sure that you are taken care of, and we will do our best to make sure that you get what you need and have that issue resolved. We are here for you. As a reminder, we will be sending out a handout today to all attendees after the presentation is over, and the handout is going to include links to the detailed resources for the topics that were mentioned throughout today's webinar. And if you are watching this in the future on the Oki 811 YouTube channel and you need a copy of that resource handout, fret not, just reach out to Oki 811 Member Services and we will happily get that document to you. And now I'm going to turn it over to Dina to see if you have any questions.
Ashley, thank you so much for all of that wonderful information. We did not have any questions today, though.
Thank you, Dina. We really appreciate that. Um, if you have any questions, as Dina mentioned, or excuse me, as we've mentioned, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help. We just wanted to show you the resources that are available, and we are one of those resources as well. Feel free to scan the QR code on your screen to complete our webinar feedback form. We'd love to hear from you and know, what kind of content you all would like to see. And if you have any questions about topics or any suggestions for future webinar topics, you can reach out to our Education and Outreach Department. Again, contact member services for any asset of your membership, whether that be GIS questions or questions about billing or outputs. We are happy to help. You can register for future webinars or go to a recorded webinar by going to okie811.org/education events. And again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and thunder up. Thank you.